Welcome back to Silicon Valley Luxury Living. Dan Robinson with you today, talking about rent versus buy. And I know you guys have seen this stuff before, but everybody's kind of worried that housing prices have gone crazy in Silicon Valley this year, really the last few years. People are going, wow, is it a bubble? Should I buy? Should I keep renting? And I'm going to tell you right now, it almost doesn't matter if we're in a bubble, and I'm going to explain it to you with this first slide here. I'll try to keep it kind of slow because it's a little bit busy. So you take a look at that purple and blue on the top half of the screen. The blue is if you were to buy a $1.5 million house with a $1.2 million loan. You would pay about $7,000 a month for 10 years, including property taxes, insurance, and all that stuff. The purple is that it's if you were to rent. So your rent would start at about $4,200 a month now and move all the way up to, say, $6,000 a month in 10 years from now. So if you kind of just look at the outflow of cash right there, that shows you that by buying a house, you're $222,000. See in the red there in the middle? You're $222,000 in the hole. So over 10 years, you've spent $222,000 more buying than renting. But that's before we get to any of the benefits. So let's move down to the bottom half of the screen. Take a look at this first one right here. We're going to start on the right. Your tax benefits, $161,000, assuming you're in a 33% tax bracket, which most of us are going to be pretty close to that. So just with the tax benefits alone, you've made back all but about $60,000 of that money that you've spent. Now you move next to it and the equity you're paying, because each of your monthly payment, a little bit of that goes to pay off the actual loan itself. So there we are, almost $60,000. All right? So with the tax benefits, you were $60,000 in the hole. Now just through the equity, take out another $60,000. You're now looking at a $200,000 profit. $200,000 profit in 10 years without your house going up in value at all. So even if your house stays at $1.5 million for 10 years, which in the history of Silicon Valley for 10 years, nobody's ever not made money on their house. Well, maybe not the history of Silicon Valley, maybe, I don't know, in the 1800s maybe, but you're going to make money. You're going to make $200,000 on a $300,000 down payment, even if your house doesn't increase in value. And what history tells us is that here in San Mateo County, you're going to get about a 6.5% return. That is the historical average, say, over the last 30 years in San Mateo County. That takes your value from $1.5 million to $2.8 million. So you've made $200,000, not even counting this change from $1.5 million to $2.8 million. It really is about getting in. And I know things are expensive now, and I know it's hard. And while prices we may be at a high and they may dip down a little bit, over the history of that 10 years, you're going to get, we're not talking about the 17, 20% we've been seeing over the last few years, just averaging 6.5%. You're going to make $200,000 just in your tax benefits and paying off your loan, instead of paying off someone else's loan with a rent payment. And then you add on here, additional $1.3 million. That's $1.5 million, folks. Okay, take out the $300,000 down. You're still at $1.2 million in 10 years. So that's where you want to be. In addition, forgot about this, $500,000 of that, if you are married, is tax-free. I mean, I know it's hard. I know it's hard to wrap your head around these prices as a first-time home buyer. But when you kind of look at the numbers, I think these are very conservative numbers. It really isn't a contest. It's always better to buy. So anyway, if you have any questions, as always, reach out, give me a call, send me an email. I love getting feedback, and thanks for watching.